Hey guys, Dan from BurkTech here, coming to you with a brand new video here. I am about 2 weeks away from start of my school year here, and I still have a lot to do before that starts. I got all of my teachers' meetings done. We have another professional development day coming up here next week. Then we have our back to school stuff. But it's been exciting to be able to be here and be able to implement so much already in the first month and really start getting things to be the way that they should be. So far, it's all been cosmetic. We've been painting, putting a new scoreboard up. We've got new backboards for our gym, doing some gardening and cleaning the weeds out and so forth, running some internet lines, and just things that needed to get done that really impacts in a way that's different than curriculum and so forth. But we're going to be working on that too. I was at my principal's conference for 3 days and had 2 days worth of extreme training in the effective people. Excuse my reach here, just so you guys can see the book here, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Franklin Covey. We had 2 days worth of training in that. I have a package over here somewhere that has a lot of information, and I'm going to utilize a lot of that during the school year and be able to be a better person who I am as an individual, as a father, as a husband, but also as the principal here, and be able to be the leader that I want to be for our teacher. And then the third day was a bunch of business meetings and learning what's going on around our schools and what's going around our state and different laws that's coming up. And then we just had our prelims, primaries for elections. Hopefully everything went as well as we wanted it to. I didn't look and analyze any of the results yet. But that's not what this video is about at all. I really want to take a look at a tweet that I saw the other day. And it comes from a good friend, Principal DJ here. And he writes, and he must have been at a conference, the Insure 18, Tenitsky. Who has the greatest influence over kids out of the home? Teachers. They are leaders who change people's lives. And I was sitting there thinking about this. He has 1 retweet at the time and 7 likes. And I like the quote. I do. And I enjoy anything that Principal DJ puts out. Great guy out there. But I was thinking about this quote and asking myself, how true is that outside of home? Because we all know parents, no matter what, parents have the most influence on these kids, and they should be. They're their kids. Our pastor and I talk a lot about that. This education process has to be the parents. It's the parents' responsibility to provide a quality education for their kids. Now, as a school, we're here to assist you and lead you and help you through that process and be able to fine-tune what you need to know and give the kids what you can't give the kids because maybe you don't have the talents or skills. And that's really a different way of thinking about education in today's world. A lot of time people, and I know a lot of teachers even and principals that believe that the school is theirs and that parents just need to do everything that they say and so forth, and like the teachers and the parents in school has the right and the privilege to lead and tell the parents what to do. And I think the concept is what we're trying to do here is a little bit different, and trying to get to a place where parents are the lead, parents are responsible for this, and we're here to help them along and give them the tools that they need and educate their kids throughout the day because they have to work or they just don't have the skill sets to be able to handle what needs to be done. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works out throughout the year. But this is talking about outside of the home. Where do kids get the most influence? And you know, I want to say that teachers is true, and that teachers is the correct answer and should be the correct answer. I just don't know how practical or clear that is in today's world. I think kids are influenced in many, many different ways. Um, you have the whole peer pressure, which has always been there. You always had peer pressure and influence from your friends to do things or say things or be the way that you are. Then you have TV and the internet in today's world. Most kids spend most of their times either on a video game or YouTube, or I mean, we have kids that play, and I think kids get a bad rap that saying that they're never outside or they're never working or doing physical activity, because I think a lot of kids do physical activity on top of um, being on devices and playing. And I think the world that the kids live in is immense on where do they want to gain their information from. They get it, a lot of it, from the internet or YouTube. YouTube is like one of the second search engine in the world besides behind Google, even though it's part of Google. Most kids, and I do it myself. I find myself, if I'm looking up something to try to figure something out, I a lot of times go to YouTube and search whatever I need to search, because I like watching the video to learn besides reading it. And I can pause it and go step by step if I need to figure something out. Just recently, to turn my water heater off, make sure that I did it correctly. I threw up on a YouTube video and follow step by step to make sure everything is correctly. So, do teachers really have the greatest influence? Then I want to look at my own kids, my own two boys, and do their teachers have more influence to them outside of our home? And I guess that's a double-edged sword. I think somewhat, but at the same time, I want to put a caveat on this quote, because I think if with this caveat, adding one word, just one word, it will make it to be 100% true. And that word is great. Instead of just saying teachers have the greatest influence over kids, I think it's great teachers have the greatest influence over kids. I don't think bad teachers have any influence over kids besides the kids hating school or hating coming to school or hating the fact of trying to learn. If you have a great teacher, one that understands the kids and be able to engage the kids, then you have your greatest influencer. If you can't make that connection to your students as a teacher, you can't influence them at all. And being a great teacher also helps you influence parents to help them throughout their process of raising these kids. So I want to change that quote to change it to from just teachers to great teachers, because I know in my time as a teacher, the more influence I had on a kid was the kids that I had a better connection with. Even as a principal, the kids that I can connect to and influence more are the kids that I have a connection to. So, yes, teachers should all have connections to kids, but the truth of the fact is that doesn't happen. We have teachers that should not be teachers, and we have teachers that criticize kids and put down kids, and that's sad. That is completely sad. So there we have it. That's my thoughts on the whole thing. I would love to hear what you guys think. If you think I'm right or wrong, I would love to hear your opinions. Put them down in the comments below, and I'll try to respond as much as possible. Remember to make sure you subscribe to this. I'm going to, again, try to get BurkTech back going again and be able to do these sort of videos using Streamlabs OBS, so I can do some of these funny, easy things to make it simple for me to create videos for you guys. But I appreciate it. like the video, subscribe it, and if you think it's anything interesting, share it with other people. And follow Principal DJ on Twitter. He always has great quotes, great comments, and great insight into the Lutheran education world and education world as it is. So, and put it out in the comments also who you think the greatest influencer of our kids are out of the home. So, thanks again, guys, for watching. If you have any other questions or concerns or comments or anything you want me to look at or discuss, again, put them down in the comments. Again, 7 Habits of a Highly Effective People. This is going to be my yearly PD reading this year with my fellow principals in my region. We're going to go through this book, study it, answer questions, and maybe I'll do a couple videos on that. There's some great concepts. I never read this book, but there are some great concepts in this book that I really want to dive into and be able to implement for my school and for my teachers and as a person, and want to look at more of the package that we got. There's something like a 7x7 training thing where you do like a 7 days, work 7 things for 7 days or something like that, and it breaks it all down to really to start thinking and being more effective. So, and the other book that I got recently that I'm looking forward to reading and getting into, I got this at our Michigan convention, is this Gospel DNA. So Michael Newman, I believe he's the new what do you call it, president of the Texas district, if I remember correctly. I'm just interested in looking how this will impact our church here and churches in Australia. So that's about it, guys. This is BurkTech. Thank you for staying with this long and making it to the end. We'll see you next time.